What I like about Lake Oswego are the trees, the lake, and the community. You know what I also like? Guiding clients through their home improvement project. Today, I'm working with a new client to get this house ready to put it on the market. Hi guys, today we're with my client Joe in Lake Oswego, and he's gonna show us around what home improvements we're gonna help him with. Roof, siding, and the windows. So let's give you guys a tour.
Yeah, thanks Evan. So we purchased this house about 7 years ago. And when we purchased it and did the inspection report, we found out that they'd actually installed the windows, most of the windows in the house incorrectly. They actually shoved them back and broke the flange on the actual window itself. And then they screwed the side and the sill pan. So the water was leaking straight through the window into the wall. So we reached out to NWHomes and Ivan here and got them out here. And they're gonna be replacing these 3 windows right here, as well as all this siding here along the L. We had some of our flashing fail on this lower section of the roof, and so they're going to replace that section of the roof for us as well. We knew that the work that had been done on the house was not correct, but the issue is that because the windows are sunk, and you can actually come inside here, because the windows are sunk back in the window frame right here, you can see there's only a 2-inch gap on the sill, whereas when they're installed correctly, it's more of a 4-inch gap. So when we replaced the windows, we knew that we were gonna have to do a significant amount of work on the inside of the house as well. And there was some tile work and detail work along the wall. And so we just really needed to, to have a good crew do it, so.
And the other topic is that it's about the roof itself. So this roof, it's not ventilated properly. It's on a low pitch. So we already have a solution for this. We gotta put a solar fan to pick up all the moisture built inside and then just push it out. So once we bring in the crew, they'll be doing all the demo all the way to the plywood and then putting some baffles to increase the airflow, right? Yeah, and these windows they're mill guard. So we're gonna make sure we match the rest of the house. And then one thing that I pointed out to Joe is that flashing right there, you gotta use special screws so that way the flashing doesn't come back out. So they missed that part. And then that fan, it's not necessary. So we're gonna cancel that fan. As you can see guys over here, this is a low pitch roof. Anything that's about this size, you would definitely wanna put a better ventilation system. I recommend here doing a fan with solar. That way there's not a bunch of cables between the attic. So that's gonna pull out all the moisture and just push it back out. So that's gonna be very exciting. And then once we get the new windows installed, we're gonna replace the siding with hardy plank. We're gonna match the paint house. Still working on doing some more extra ventilation, right? Yes. So the next line is, he wants to share the story about the real estate side. So how you bought this house, and what year did you buy this home?
Yeah, so we bought the home in 2017, and we actually lived very close by. We lived just about a mile away.
Okay.
But we had a second child, our second daughter, and the floor plan just wasn't conducive. My wife worked overnight sometimes, so couldn't sleep. I'd have to leave the house. So we started looking for places, and what really attracted to us was the neighborhood feel here, but also the curb appeal of this house specifically. So when we walked through it, we really fell in love with the craftsman's finishes, the tile, just the attention to detail that the person who remodeled it had done. And so we really have a desire to keep it at that level. But then at the same time, because it was remodeled and because we were busy and just kind of getting started and young kids, we just didn't keep up as much as we would have liked on the deferred maintenance. And so as a result, as we get closer, as we start to think like, in the next probably 3 to 5 years, we'll probably move to the next house or do something like that. We don't want to end up with like a $200,000 deferred maintenance bill at the end.
Deferred maintenance,
yeah, like stuff that we need to do. So carpet, siding, these things. And so it's, just to keep working and making that happen and keep keep everything high quality.
High quality
for
sure.
Yeah.
So when you bought this house, did you have in mind that about all these repairs that you're dealing with, like the windows, the flat roof?
We didn't. We knew the windows were coming.
Okay.
I didn't expect them to be this expensive.
Okay.
So that was definitely a little bit more surprising. It was definitely a shock. But that is home ownership. I wish I had known a little more and understood a little more at the time. But hindsight's 20/20. We still really love the house. I just wish we had maybe had a little better information, a little due diligence up front,
a little bit more experience. So one thing, Joe, that you mentioned that I think the inspector missed the flat roof section, right? A lot of inspectors in the industry, sometimes they miss like the proper ventilation. And let me tell you guys, in the Northwest, the villain is moisture. So you must have proper ventilation on any home. Just by, from experience, it's better to get all this information as you guys, when you guys bought the house, that way you don't have to like come up with, all these figures later with all these repairs, and you deal with all this extra cost that could be avoided or at least negotiated as part of the real estate transaction. And actually, I'll be here guiding you guys through from start to finish.
Oh, you will?
So yes, I will. I'll be here tomorrow. When I came here, what was it, like 5 days ago? Maybe? Yeah, a week ago.
Yeah.
And you guys told me about the skylights. The first thing I caught was like, well, it's a low pitch. You must put 2 layers of membrane. And there's a different system. But once we pull out the skylights, you got to put a foam to not let moisture in. And we actually, the cool thing with the website, we're putting in a system where you could actually chat with AI. And then we're about to release our podcast.
Oh, neat.
We already did, I think. We already have the first episode for our podcast.
Like seeing, I guess that's nice to me. It's like you kind of want to see where people are doing work. I looked at reviews. I wanted to see and you reference where you're doing work in the area, because you think like, what style homes have you worked on?
Right.
And then I reached out, and then that you recognize like the style of our house.
Right.
Where you're like, oh, you've done work like this, which made me feel more comfortable, because I feel like that's been the tricky thing, is like we're having to match, because we're only doing part of the house. I feel like you made me feel better that we're going to match the style of the house.
For sure.
Which is nice.
Yes, and then also when my team was working on your proposal, right?
Yeah.
We said we're just down the street from here.
Yes.
We're like 5 minutes away, and I think we sent you the address.
Which helps. I want it to be a local company. Like I'm glad you're expanding and working other areas. It's like you're local, you work close, you've worked on homes in Lake Oswego. It just feels better.
Right. So the reason we're open to share where we are. That way homeowners like you could drive by, take a look at our crews, or even talk to
completed projects.
For sure, completed projects, and even run into our clients and let them share their experience, with our team.
And then if you work with local vendors, or you referenced right away, you said like who are the windows, what you're
Mill
certified,
Guard, correct,
well, and who you work with, like that you're certified to do skylight work, and it's like I don't know about that.
Sure, right.
I don't know what should be done, so having you sort of explain like how it should be, why would this be a problem, and how you're going to fix it. I feel like I'm sad it needs to be fixed, but at least it's not water leaking through the roof yet.
For sure, yeah. But yeah, so far I think we know. You reached out to us about a week ago.
Less than, you came
probably
right
less than a week. I think you guys got a proposal maybe within 24 hours.
Probably less,
Maybe less with that, and then that's very good, because a lot of homeowners have challenges of getting companies to come out. That's just one, and then second, hard to even get the proposals on time.
We had 3 people come out, and you're the only person who got back to us within 24 hours, and then I think 1 or 2 didn't get back to us with a quote at all. And then I also think too that you gave me the option. I feel like for me that you do comprehensive work on homes, like roof, siding, windows, and paint, and that you let me choose the options. Like I knew we probably wouldn't be able to afford everything at once. So it was like you kind of mentioned like what did you say? Like add it to the cart. I thought and it really was like in the quote. It was like if we have to do parts of it separate, it was really easy to choose what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
You didn't make me feel bad about that.
Correct.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that for your feedback, because we like to give homeowners options.
Yeah.
Options, and it's like a shopping cart. Select what you want.
Yeah.
And you go to the cart.
Well, and then you didn't say if I can't do all the work, I'm not doing any of it. We need some of it done now. So thank you. I mean, you mentioned that you work with real estate as well.
Correct, yes.
Which I thought was interesting, because then you're thinking about the value of a home, and that's something we're thinking about with this house specifically. We've thought about selling as the value of these homes have increased, and we know that this is a project we have to do, but we're not sure what parts relate to the value of the home. I think you've been trying to clarify for us things we could do to improve the ventilation of the home.
Right.
And I think then you have an eye of what's necessary to keep the value of our house and to keep the style of the home, and this area.
For sure.
So I think if you're selling homes in this area or listing, then I think like this zip code in Lake Oswego, then I feel more comfortable thinking that you would sort of protect like our home value and
you guys, for sure.
Yeah.
So let's say if you guys plan on selling, like even on your next property, as your agent with all these, the knowledge with home improvement, there's a lot of things that can help you guys and save you guys a lot of money for like unexpected repairs, things that maybe inspectors miss on the other property.
And that's not something people offer very often, to try and save people money, which feels like that's nice to hear.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty good.
Thank you.
There you go, guys. If you want to work with me, check out the information in the description. Why people love working with me is because I could help you find deals, I can help you improve your space, and I could also help you list the property. If you like this content, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next video.